Hello YouTube and welcome to another video with me over the line. At the moment we're taking the BMW touring car around Zandvoort Grand Prix. We're going to be racing this Sunday at Checker Flag Endurance on this circuit for our 10-minute sprint event. So we're going to show you where you need to brake and where you need to turn in so you can get closer to the front of the grid and have a bit more fun with some competitive racing. As usual, we're going to go into slow motion first and then followed by the full speed version, so you guys get an idea of what it's going to look like when you do it yourself. So coming up into turn 1, you're presented with the 180 corner, and your braking point is the 100 meter board on the left hand side, which is there. So basically as soon as you're alongside it, you'll be braking down from full speed into third gear. It will be the same for most vehicles. The touring cars and the DTMs are very similar, although some of the touring cars do have higher gearing, so just be aware of that if you do decide to go for... I know the other BMW in touring cars also has higher gearing, so just be mindful of that if you do choose to take that car. So you're braking down into third, staying on the left hand side of the circuit, and this is about now where you want to start coming off the brakes. So you're not coming fully off, you're just kind of trail braking, as they say. So you're slowly coming off. This allows the car to turn in more, which is what you want to do at this point. You don't want to go into the gravel. So you're trail braking until you get to around here. This is where you should be fully off the brakes. You should be at the correct speed by now, and just simply maintain that speed. The camber of the corner will actually help you stay on the apex, and you just want to ease the throttle on when the time is right. If you're doing it right, you should be hitting the curbing on the left hand side as you come out of the corner, and then it's full speed up to the next corner as well. You want to stay on the left hand side of the circuit, hit the rumble strip if you can, and then you want to come off the throttle around now. You don't need any brakes. If you do, then just use it to generate more turning, but decelerate from this point onwards and simply hit the apex on the right hand side as best you can. Start to reapply the throttle slowly, and you want to go straight into the centre of the circuit and start braking now. There's not a lot of braking for this corner. It's going to be a 118. Once again, it is cambered. You're going to be going into third or second gear depending on your car, and you just want to let the car decelerate, do its own thing. There's not a lot of braking required here because you're already going slow from the previous corner as it is, so you don't really want to. You want to stay off the curbing on the inside because that will kill you. As you can tell, we did touch it a bit, hence why we're having to counter steer. And then you want to accelerate out full speed onto the longest part of the track. So it's just full throttle for this entire sequence of corners here. Make sure you stay on the racing line, otherwise it will cause you issues. You won't be able to go full throttle if that's not the case. And you should be on the left hand side of the track once you approach the top of the hill. Now we actually tapped the grass a bit there, but that's a bit scary. But you want to be braking here from fifth gear, and not fully though. It's not a lot of braking. You're trail braking because you're still having to make the corner here. So trail braking in fourth gear, and now you should be off the brakes fully. So that's how little braking you do need. It's a really fast corner, a hell of a lot of fun in this car in this series, and you just want to hug this inside line. Just keep letting the car decelerate until now, and that is when you hit the gas again, and still hug that apex. You want to just make the car have enough power, enough speed, so that you can do that. And then once the corner starts to open up and go up the hill, that's when you are on full throttle again. Now you're coming out against a 90 degrees right hand corner. Braking starts now, so that a good reference point is just under the line. So just once you pass the white line, which is on the track there, now you should start braking. And now you finish braking. That's it. It's not a lot of braking again. And you want to be able to hit the curb. You can be very aggressive on this corner here. The trick is here, do not use all of the track. You want to be in a position where you're not hitting the curbing on the left hand side, because what it does, as you can see here, the corner actually doesn't go straight, so it would be going that way if it was straight, but it kind of curves. So if you end up on this curbing here, you're then going to have to come off the throttle in order to finish the corner and go over where you need to go. So my best advice is take a bit less speed than what you need to, or think you need to, and then you can be where I am now and still accelerate and basically hit the corner exit, which is around here if I'm honest. So this curbing is a bit of a lie, shall we say. And then again you're instantly presented with the hardest corner of the track, in my personal opinion. It's a blind entry, it's going uphill, and the grip levels here aren't that great. So you want to brake early, just after you finish the curbing. You can see them in the mirror there, so they're not far behind you, and you're braking down now and waiting for that apex to appear. Now you can see it, that's when you need to turn in. Not a lot of grip here at all, if I'm truly honest, so this is where you need to be careful, and you can start to reapply the throttle once you can see the rubber lines and everything. You can tell, well, obviously all the cars have been through these lines here, and that is where you need to go for the next corner as well. So just follow the rubber, and braking again for the next corner. You want to be in the same gear for this, so you haven't accelerated a lot whatsoever. Let the car do the decelerating now. It's only a tiny bit of braking that was required. Let the car decelerate on its own. Just maintain that speed, maintain it as soon as you're on the apex, that is, and then you can slowly start to reapply it once the car has enough power to straighten itself out. Obviously, being in the touring cars, they do like to go a bit sideways. There's a lot of power in these things, but you can also use that to turn in, as you could see there. That's exactly what we did. That's now sector 2 complete. Coming up to sector 3, braking point is the 100-meter board on the left hand side. That's the board in just the corner here. That is your braking point. It's fairly early, so another reference would be the curbing on the left hand side, although that's a bit later. Off the brakes now, so it's a fairly heavy braking period for this corner. You want to be able to hit the curbing on the right hand side and have enough speed so that you can actually make the next apex fairly easily. Same gear, just carry the speed through. You want to maintain the same speed as you had for the previous corner. And once the curbing disappears on the left hand side, that's when you can accelerate. The track actually elevates and then drops here, so be careful on the throttle because it can actually make the rear come round quite aggressively, especially in something like the GTOs for example. But luckily here it's not so much of a big issue. Coming up next is the right-hander. Braking point is just after the 50-meter board on the left-hand side, and it's only a tiny brake. Should be off fully now, and just let the car carry the speed through. As you can hear, we're on the throttle on and off, just maintaining that speed, and now you can start to reapply the throttle. You know you're doing it right because you hit the curbing on the left-hand side. That's a nice sign. And in 4th gear for the last corner. Stay on the left to start with, then slightly come off the throttle. As you can see, we're coming off it now, and then reapply it. Usually once the curbing has disappeared on the right hand side, which is there, that's when you can usually have the confidence to whack the throttle on. And you should have enough momentum to get you to the finish at full speed. So that was a full lap of Zandvoort GP. It's going to be a 10-minute race this Sunday at Checker Flag Endurance if you are interested in coming along. But we're going to go full speed now and give you guys an idea of how it feels. Here we go. So there you go, there's a full speed lap of Zandvoort Grand Prix in the touring cars. I hope you did enjoy. Give us a like and subscribe if you did and you want more how-to videos. Hope it did help you get faster, and I hope to see you this Sunday at CFEG Endurance. Feel free to join us. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. Goodbye.